How do you clean a non-Pinterest pantry? And a non-Pinterest pantry is what most of us have. Most of us don't have these beautiful, luxurious pantries where everything is color coordinated and has labels and it looks beautiful. Most of us don't have that. Most of us have pots and pans and containers of stuff that's just chuffed in the pantry, and then we hope we can find it when it's time to make a meal, right? During the COVID era, with lots of people staying at home and lots of people having more meals at home, the pantries have just become these catch-alls in many of the homes that we're going to. Now, I want to stop for just a second and say if you're a homeowner, there is hope. And if you are a professional house cleaner, the pantry is a special project. Okay, we call it an upsell. It is not part of a maintenance clean. It is not part of a deep clean. It is a special project all by itself. So as a homeowner, if you're going to hire a professional house cleaner, this is a special project and you should be expected to pay more money and just have them spend one day and all they do is clean the pantry. All right, so what we're going to do in a pantry is we're going to pull everything out of the pantry and we're going to make sure that everything is in like areas. So all the big mixing bowls are going to be stacked together as big mixing bowls. All of the containers, let's say you have pitchers that are used for parties or lemonade or summertime or whatever, those are all going to be stacked in one spot. If you have pots and pans, the ones that will stack on top of each other will all be stacked so that they fit on top of each other. We want to get all of the small appliances in one area. So if you have a coffee maker or you have like a juicer or you have a food processor or a George Foreman grill or whatever, you want to put all of those in one spot. You want to put everything that's of like mind in one spot so that at a glance you can see very easy what it is. The next thing that we want to do in a pantry is we want to make sure that even if you don't have matching containers and they're not cute, if they are plastic and they are clear, we want to put all the food inside. So if you have noodles or you have flour or you have oatmeal or things of that nature, we want to put all of those inside clear plastic containers so we can see at a glance what it is. Now, in a perfect world, even if you're just using masking tape, you can write the date on it of when you put it inside. So at least at a glance, you kind of know how old it is. If it's stuff that you're recycling on a regular weekly or bi-weekly basis, you're probably good to go. But some of the stuff like flour, sugar, it might last a little bit longer. And then we don't know, is it 2 months old? Is it a year old, right? We want to make sure that we know. Now, as far as going through a kitchen, a pantry that we're going to clean out needs to be cleaned out preferably twice a year. This is a special project we do twice a year. And the reason we do it twice a year is because what triggers it is the hot months of the summer and the cold months of the winter. And the reason being is if we are outside and we are uncomfortable, it is also uncomfortable for mice. And so mice will try to get inside the homes and they will find their way through. They come up through like where the pipes come up through the sink. If there's any space there, they get underneath the crawl space of the house and they'll climb up the pipes looking for food, looking for water, stuff like that. Oftentimes it's because there are babies somewhere. Mice create lots of babies, and so they want to provide food for their babies, and they're going to find food inside homes. Now, a note about mice. They don't care if you're an Airbnb. They don't care if you're a house. They don't care if you're a new house, if you're an old house, if you're rich or you're poor. They don't care. Mice will come into your house, and they will try to find your food, and then they will just help themselves to it. So there's no shame in having a mouse inside your house. It does not mean you're bad or your house is contaminated. It means we need to take precautions, okay? So I do recommend inside every pantry, no matter who you are, no matter how wealthy or how poor you are, that you have mice traps inside your pantry. Because if a mice comes in and he sees like some peanut butter on the mouse trap, he's going to go straight over there and then bam, you got him, right? And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to kill mice unnecessarily. But if they come inside your house, we don't want them breeding and we don't want them creating a contaminated scene inside your home. That said, we want to put everything we can, chips, noodles, crackers, anything that has a smell to it, we want to put those inside airtight containers with a lid. Now, one of the interesting things is lots of people will have stuff scattered all over their pantry, and then they forget that they have it because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So in a clear plastic container, you can see exactly what it is. Now, the goal is to put all the like food together. You want to put all the noodles together. You want to put all the chips together. You want to put all of the salad dressings together. You want to put all of the soups together. This way, at a glance, what are you in the mood for? Soup, great, it's all right here. We want chips, great, they're all right here. And so you want to organize everything, even if it's not Pinterest looking, so that it's all cohesive, so that it's easy to find. The reason we want it easy to find is because if we have a house full of people, we want to make sure that somebody's not wandering in, having a snack, and then randomly putting it back in the pantry wherever they feel like it. Because the next person comes in and they look where they thought the chips were, and they say, oh no, my chips are gone, someone ate my chips, so they buy more chips, not knowing that there are 4 different places in the pantry that have chips from 4 different members of the family, right? That's crazy. So we want to put everything together and then train everybody to put everything back in its spot. This also works for the people doing the grocery shopping in your house. When they go to the store and they buy cans of soup, where do they put them? They put them in the soup section of your pantry. When they buy chips, where do they put them? In the chips section of your pantry, okay? So there are a couple of basic rules that we want to follow. And if you follow the basic rules, you keep the food up and off the floor in airtight containers, mouse traps and ant traps on the floor. What that's going to do is discourage the rodents from coming into your space. You're like, no, 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 this is my space. This is the food I feed my family, not your family, right? So we're making rules as far as the little critters that sneak inside our house. Now, if you do have mice that sneak inside your house and you're cleaning that up, you want to get rid of the mice droppings and you want to sanitize the entire area. So all of the containers, the floor, all of the area, we want to clean those with sanitization wipes or a disinfectant of some sort. And we want to be very careful that we don't let contaminated areas where there have been mice droppings or whatever go unnoticed, because again, that will attract other things that we just do not want in the house, okay? So as we're going through this process of reorganizing our space and cleaning up, even if you don't have a Pinterest-looking pantry, you can still have a really clean pantry that's effective and it is useful to every member of your household. So that's the challenge for this week. Now, if you have a couple of free minutes, just go inside your pantry, look around, take an assessment of what's actually happening inside your pantry, because I promise you this. During the COVID era, lots of people got distracted with other things. It might have been Netflix or whatever, right? They got distracted with other things. It's late at night, they get food out, they put food back, and there's probably stuff in your pantry you don't actually know is in there, or you don't know the condition or the state your pantry is in. So just go take a look about and then report back to me. Report back to me what you find and what you did to make it better. All right, I hope this helps. If it does, give us a thumbs up. If you have questions or comments, those go in the notes below. Until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.